If you're anything like us, you had your snacks ready, settled onto the couch, and flipped over to ABC on Thursday, November 6. Why? Because Joe Keery, yes, Steve Harrington himself, was set to be on Jimmy Kimmel Live. With Stranger Things Season 5 being the most anticipated television event on the planet, any chance to see one of its stars, and his magnificent hair, is a must-watch. And then, nothing. Instead of Jimmy's opening monologue and Joe Keery's charm, viewers were met with a rerun. A repeat episode with the wonderful Tessa Thompson, but a rerun nonetheless. The collective sound of thousands of remotes clicking and phones being checked was deafening. On social media, the confusion was instant. Where is Joe Keery? Did I miss something? Why is Shark Tank on my TV? Okay, that last one was Damon John, but you get the idea. A last-minute cancellation like this is rare, and it immediately sent minds racing. Because let's be honest, Jimmy Kimmel has been the name in everyone's mouth lately. The shadow of a recent scandal. You can't blame fans for feeling a little jumpy. It was only recently that Kimmel and his entire show were at the center of a firestorm. After making comments about Charlie Kirk's killer, the comedian faced unbelievable pressure, reportedly even from the federal government. Disney, ABC's parent company, actually pulled him off the air. It was a shocking, surreal moment that had everyone in late night wondering if this was the new normal. But then, in a stunning reversal, Disney reinstated Jimmy. And what happened next? The show's ratings didn't just recover, they skyrocketed. It turned out that the controversy only made people want to tune in more, to see what he'd say next. He had returned as the conquering hero of late night. So, when the November 6 show was suddenly yanked with zero explanation, the first question on everyone's mind was, did it happen again? Did he say something else? Was there another scandal brewing behind the scenes? The silence from the network was deafening, and it felt, for a few terrifying hours, like history was repeating itself. Thankfully, that doesn't seem to be the case. But the real reason is, in its own way, just as mysterious. The personal matter that halted Hollywood. As the night wore on, the first official clues began to trickle out. This wasn't a network decision. This wasn't a scandal. According to Deadline, the show was canceled due to an unknown personal matter for Jimmy. This is the phrase that Hollywood uses when something serious is happening, but it's nobody's business. It's a wall of privacy, and it immediately changed the online tone from confused and angry to concerned. The audience, who had been lined up for the taping, was informed that the show was postponed, not canceled. That's a key difference. It means the show will go on, just not that night. The guests, who were likely already at the studio, had to scramble. Singer Madison Beer, who was the musical guest, took to her Instagram to clear things up for her fans. She posted that the show needed to reschedule her performance due to unforeseen circumstances, adding that she would share new details when she could. What about the other guests? David Duchovny of Malice and, of course, Joe Keery have remained silent. As of now, neither has made a public statement, and it's unclear if their interviews will be rescheduled. We can only hope. So, what does a personal matter mean? It could be anything. It could be a sudden family emergency, a health issue, or the loss of a loved one. Whatever it is, it was serious enough to shut down an entire multi-million-dollar production at a moment's notice. And honestly, Jimmy deserves the privacy. After making us laugh for more than 20 years, the man is allowed to have a private life. We can only send our best wishes and hope that everything is okay with him and his family. What this means for the future of Kimmel. This sudden, one-night absence does bring up the bigger question that's been looming over the show for years: Kimmel's future. Let's not forget, Jimmy Kimmel is the longest-running late-night talk show host currently on the air. He started Jimmy Kimmel Live way back in 2003. To put that in perspective, Stranger Things is set in the 80s, but 2003 feels like a different lifetime. His contract is set to expire in May 2026, and he has been very open in recent years about the idea of retiring. He's talked about the grind of a nightly show and his desire to spend more time with his family. You have to wonder what this all means for his motivation. After returning from his suspension, he might have felt a new sense of purpose, a reason to stick around and keep fighting the good fight. But a personal matter like this, whatever it may be, has a way of putting things into perspective. It can make you reevaluate everything. Is this isolated incident a sign that the host is burning out, or will it be a small blip in his triumphant return? What to watch for next? For now, the show must go on. ABC has not made any announcements about next week's shows, and the ticket website, 1iota, is still offering tickets. Assuming Jimmy returns to the air on Monday night, fans are in for a treat. The schedule is absolutely stacked. George Clooney, Mike Tyson, Eddie Murphy, Morgan Fairchild, Jason Bateman, and even Mr. T are all slated to appear. This is the best sign we have. A fully booked week like that suggests that whatever the personal matter was, it's being handled, and Jimmy intends to be back in his chair. The real question is, will he talk about it? When he returns on Monday, all eyes will be on his opening monologue. He's known for his emotional honesty. He's cried on air while discussing personal and national tragedies. He might open up about his absence. Then again, he might just make a quick joke and move on. Whatever he chooses, we'll be watching. We're all hoping that Jimmy and his family are okay, and selfishly, we're hoping that Joe Keery and David Duchovny get their schedules cleared for a rain check. We were really looking forward to that. Jimmy Kimmel Live airs weeknights at 11:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ABC.